Hi guys, I've got Anne Katona Linn with me, one of my fellow authors for our beautiful book, Depression Lied to Me. And welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Stephan.
Oh, it's brilliant. And what made you come on board this beautiful collaboration of like-minded people?
You know, when I hear about a group of women coming together to share their stories of really overcoming depression and going through struggles and just being raw and being honest, that really spoke to me. That's where I am right now. I'm all about let's put it out there and be vulnerable. That's the way we grow.
Oh, so beautiful. Absolutely. When did depression sort of first touch your life?
Good question. I had trauma as a child that really impacted me. And specifically for the book, I talk about rape, and that the depression really went along with that because I was numbing so much and just really really feeling bad about myself and blaming myself. That's when the depression really kicked in. You know, there were situations, there were traumas again, but that, because of the fact that rape and sexual abuse has such a devastating component to it that it really takes away almost your voice. And that's where the depression really hit me, was related to that. So I was in my early 20s, probably.
1 in 3 women have a lifetime chance of being raped or sexually abused. 1 in 7 men. The figures are huge out there, yet there is such a silence. Me Too has changed that a little bit, but still on an individual level, it is so hard. Mm-hmm. When did you find your voice? How long did it take for you to decide to speak up?
Probably in my early 30s, I started really doing some healing around the trauma piece, but I didn't really address the rape was still kind of this shame and this silent thing in the back of my head. And it took, honestly, probably until just last year to really even start talking about it more comfortably. So I've been, my voice has come back. I've gotten my voice in the last 25 years, but around the rape specifically just within this last year. So it was, cause I'm writing my own book. And so that's coming out in January, but as I was writing that, I was sharing my trauma and sharing all of those things. And I shared the rape. And then, when this story came up, when Nefertiti, spoke to me and she set up the meeting with us, it just was really perfect timing because I had already done some work on really sharing the story of the rape. But this book, I really went into it and shared unlike I ever have in my life. So this book has a lot of power for me. I think it's truly putting my voice specifically around this, around the rape out there. So.
Wow. And that takes a lot of guts to do that. Yet it can be so liberating. It can be so beautiful to come out of the darkness yourself and suddenly give your whole suffering a meaning by trying to help other women to understand that it's okay not to be okay, but that it's not okay to stay silent.
Right.
What would be the one thing you would tell a woman who has been in a similar situation as you have been, with the darkness following a major trauma or maybe repeated traumas?
I think, I know for me, I was very much a people pleaser, and it took me really looking at myself and not looking at myself with shame. So for me, God really kind of opened up my eyes of who I really was. And from that and holding on to that, that helped me change some of my behaviors that a little by little actually made me then feel better about myself, which then opened up more healing. So I couldn't think about other people. I needed to heal on my own, and I needed to do the work for myself before I could even think about we have to put our own oxygen masks on. And so I think especially women, we are not very good at that. And so we need to put our own oxygen mask on first and take care of ourselves and be okay with that. And then that kind of opens up the door for other healing. That doesn't mean that everything's going to be easy, but just getting that start and knowing that there are so many of us out there that have been through it, and it's okay to ask for help. There's no shame. It was not your fault. You know, this is about what's happened to you, not what's wrong with you. So
Beautiful.
Know that we have so much, there's so much support.
Beautiful. What would you tell the partner, a spouse of someone, of the person you have been in the past? What would be the key message you would give the spouse?
I would say, don't take things personally. If there are things that have happened in the past, they are not about you, and they don't, they may be impacting you in some way. Just, try to put yourself in your partner's shoes and see what it is that they've been through, and just have some empathy. You don't need to do anything. Just listen. Just listen. You don't need to fix it.
Oh, we're so good at that. I try to fix, but then again, my wife is just like me. She wants to fix, but no.
I'm a fixer too. So yeah.
How would you try to explain depression to a child?
I think I would say it's just kind of a darkness that comes over you, that it almost just paralyzes you. You can't, and it's not even, it can be there like just this fog. It's a fog that is just lingering, and you are more tired, and it just, it takes away what feels like your voice. And so even if you're able to speak, I think it's that you feel that your voice is not worth anything. And so it just is this darkness, like a cloud, like a fog coming over you. That's kind of the sort of the simple thing, I guess. It's a cloud that really saps your energy. So.
Oh, it's so true. I've had a previous guest who had a spinal cord injury, and he said that his depression was more paralyzing than his spinal cord injury. And that was a very powerful thing to say.
Yeah.
Last question.
Because you don't want to do things. So you don't want to do things that you typically love, Last question. What would be the one message you would send back to your younger self? You don't have to have everything perfect. You are enough, and you are worthy exactly the way you are. And that's it.
Beautiful. Dr. Anne Katona Linn, one of my fantastic co-authors for our book, Depression Lied to Me. Guys, go out there, check her story out, and those stories of the other courageous women who are sharing their story, maybe to give you that glimmer of hope that the past does not equal the future, that there's help out there. And thank you so much, and good luck with your own book, with your own celebration in January.
Thanks so much for having me.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.